viewers. This is Better Faith Group of School e-learning platform. My name is Ehime Ujoye. For this morning, we'll be looking at literature in English. First thing first, we need to identify what is meant by literature. We have it on the board that this is a piece of writing that is valued as a work of art. I want you to underline this word, art. In literature, or in the field of art, we do not have a laboratory. What we have is our imagination, our senses, our idiosyncrasies put in place in writing. And when you have put these things in place, it forms your expression. In literary device or literary writings, it is the way you express yourself, the way you talk, the way you imagine things that you put in writing. That's why I say this is a piece of writing that is valued as work of art, written with excellence. You don't jump into writing. First thing first, you nurture what you want to write, and at the end of the day, you incorporate your ideas into the writing. Now, when you have done this, it now forms your expression, expressing the ideas you have nurtured. So I want you to understand that in literature, the very first thing that comes to your mind is what? The art of writing and the ideas you have gathered over time. And this idea will now become what you begin to reminiscence or what you begin to do over time that turns to what? A permanent idea in your head. Are we together? In literature, the very first thing that comes to your mind here is idea formulation. Let's say, for example, you're given something to write, and this time you want to put it in writing. You formulate your ideas. How do you formulate your ideas? We formulate ideas by making use of our senses. In biological science or in the field of sciences, we're made to understand that we have our sex organs, which happens to be the one for the sight. We have eyes, smell, we have what? Our nose. Then for touch, we have our what? Our skin. But in literature, there's something we call intuition. You intuit, okay? You can imagine. Are we together? You can imagine. And when you have imagined what you want to put down as your write-up, you must make use of all these your sense organs. That's why it's called expressing ideas of permanence that has artistic value. You paint it. You have pictured what you want to do. And this time you bring it to limelight by adding artistic value to what you have written. That's why in literature is very dynamic. Literature is different from every other field of human endeavor. You must have the ability to express. You must have the ability to master what you have expressed. And you must have good mastery of English. Now, we want to look at the reason for studying literature and the aims of teaching literature. It's a two-way thing. You need to know why you're studying it, and the teacher in turn also needs to know why he or she is teaching you literature. Number one, it helps in building our creative thinking. I told you that in literature or in literary appreciation, we do not make use of the lab. We do not have a lab. And what is our lab in literature? Our thinking. Our ability to bring what we have nurtured over time with the help of what? Our sex organs to bear. How do you think? Critical thinking is different from thinking in an idle way. In literature and English, we think critically. Let's say, for example, in this critical thinking, we want to give a write-up or want to write something about the Nigerian state. We want to write something about the Nigerian world state. What do you know about the Nigerian state? What has the Nigerian state Or how has the Nigerian state affected you negatively or positively? This time you sit down in the comforts of your homes, or you sit down in that quiet zone to do what? To reminiscence. So in literature in English, the process of thinking or the process of involving in critical thinking is a process of reminiscing. Are we together? So it helps you to have this cognitive analysis, cognitive power of thinking. So when you have the cognitive ability to think, you can think anything true when it comes in terms of what? Writing. Mind you, in literature, what do? We write. Every good literature student must know how to what? Write. If you do not know how to write, you have no business in literature. Am I communicating? When you know how to write, your expression, your feelings, your emotion, be it sympathetically or empathetically, is brought to bear when you're writing. Let's say, for example, as a literature student, you have built your critical thinking skills, and you want to write something that has to do with the dead. You want to write something that has to do with what? The dead. What comes to bear? You are not going to write this write-up in a very happy mood, which means your mood matters in literature. You want to think, if I was in the shoe of this diseased or the bereaved human being, how will I react? Then from there you begin to think it through with the ability of your cognitive analysis. And while you are writing it, the mood at which you are using to write will determine what we know as what? The plot. Are we together? So it helps us in building of our what? Critical thinking skills, the ability for you to reason. The number two, appreciation of our culture and other beliefs. The Nigerian state or the nations at large, we are heterogeneous in cultural belief. No nation on the earth is homogeneous. So which means no culture can be said to be superior over another person's what? Culture. So if you want to appreciate cultural beliefs or cultural thoughts or cultural ideas, you must put yourself in the shoe of that cultural practice. There are some cultures that believe in, they have a belief system that before a woman will get married, the woman must be flogged. And let's say, for example, you find yourself in that environment, and as a good writer, you are not going to write to be castigating the people's culture, but rather you are going to write in order for you to appreciate what they are doing or to buttress what they are doing. I said appreciation of the cultural belief or cultural system is a must when it comes to terms of what? Writing literature. Mind you, one man's meat is another man's poison. That's culture. So if my culture permits me to be eating millipede pepper soup as cultural food or cultural meal, you will not come as a writer to begin to condemn what my culture holds sacred. But rather, you will see the importance of what this culture has done to the people and see how your writings or your write-up can be appreciated across the globe. So that's why one of the reasons, or one of the most important reasons, is cultural belief system. Nigeria and Africa at large, we operate this communal system where you have my brother, my sister syndrome. What makes you my brother? What makes you my sister? It doesn't mean that we have the same paternage or maternage. It means that for the fact that we speak and understand the same language, automatically you are my brother. So in order for me to appreciate your culture, I must be empathetic. empathetic, or rather culture is a product of what? Empathy. How do I express empathy? It's putting myself in your shoes, appreciating who you are based on your cultural belief system. As a writer, how do I write in cultural literature? It boils down to what? First and first, you need to appreciate the person in question. When you appreciate the person in question, then you now appreciate where the person came from before you start writing. The number 3, it helps in building one's writing skill. Literature in English, as I rightly said, is all about what? Writing. If you are having deficiency in writing, you cannot be a good literature student. You write from nonsense to sense. How do you write? How do you build your writing skill? Anything that gives you interest is what you write. Couple with those things that do not give you interest. That's why I said you write from nonsense to what? To sense. So while you are writing, you begin to see that the way you talk will be a reflection of the way you write. The reason why some of us we are having problems when it comes to terms of writing is because we do not know how to speak. When you know how to speak very well, you know how to do your sentence construction, you must also know how to write. So one of the reasons again that we study literature in English is to build our writing skills. So that when you sit down to write, because mind you, in literature in English, we are not always given what to write, but you reason out what you want to write. Are we communicating? You reason out what you want to write. And when you reason out what you want to write, many a times, what you are writing is called, you are writing fiction, something that is not true. Alright? You are writing out of what? Fiction. You are writing based on imagination. Okay? Your imagination. When you write a fiction, when you write in fiction or you write in imagination, it is not a title sentence, but rather something that you have critically reasoned out. Let's say, for example, I decide to give you to write for me a topic in literature I wish it's never happened. I wish it's never what happened. And you as a student, there's nothing in your lifestyle that you have never wished it's never happened. But you're not being compelled to write something I wish it never what happened. How do you write it? You think in fiction. You try to picture. What is a scenario? You create a scene or you create a scenario of something that you wish it never happened. And most of the times, or many a times, what you're writing is a product of lies. That's why I always tell my literature students, learn to tell small lies. That's why the white people call it white lies. You have never had a scenario of something that has never happened, but now you're not being compelled to say, I wish it never happened. You are going to drag out a scene. You are going to imagine a scenario. And when you're imagining the scenario, it could be once upon a time, on a fateful day, the 25th day of June, 1964, I was on my way to school when I was attacked by a big buffalo. You have not seen a buffalo in real life, but you're trying to imagine what a buffalo will do to you, assuming it happens to you. For you to begin to try to, maneuver your way through your write-up makes you a good literature student. A literature student has the ability to maneuver. Are we together? You maneuver through your words and build your writing skills. Then the next one, number 4 here, is addressing humanity and its problems. Addressing humanity and its problems. The nation at large has too much problems. Too much problems. And these problems are unending. Presently, we are being faced with this coronavirus pandemic. It's a problem. And writers, good writers, have started writing something about it. We are addressing the issues. Let's say, for example, I want to give you a poem. Give me a poem called COVID-19. What will you write? And that poem, as you are writing the poem, is addressing issues that has to do with global phenomena or global phenomena, as the case may be. So literature in English addresses human problem. For example, Nightfall in Soweto, written by J.P. Clark. What was he trying to address in South Africa? He was trying to address the poverty scenario in South Africa. He was trying to picture a family that was so bedeviled by poverty that when it rains like this, their roof starts leaking. That's trying to, make us understand the menace of poverty. And also, let's say, for example, you are writing on corruption. You've not seen corruption. It's an abstract word or abstract context. But you're trying to see how you can write something on corruption to address the issue of humanity. Then very lastly, it teaches us the core value of life. A good writer must learn to respect the value of life, which is synonymous to what? Appreciating people's culture. When you appreciate my culture and you're empathetic about my culture, and also empathetic about your own culture, what we do, the core of life will be appreciated. So when we look at this whole thing in the nutshell, we'll come to understand that literature, in order for you to be a successful writer, the very first that comes to bear is for you to be able to paint all your picture in an artistic value. We're going to stop here for today. Subsequently, when we meet, we will continue. Thank you very much, and God bless you.